Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Kokopelli Moki-Lite Inflatable Lightweight Kayak. While Kokopelli might be best known for their durable and well-constructed packrafts, they also have a Moki series of kayaks. In this review we're going to be looking at one of those, the Moki-Lite, which as the name implies, it's the lightest kayak they currently offer, and it shares a lot of the construction methods and high quality details that Kokopelli is known for. In terms of packaging, you can see very simple. You have a shipping cardboard box and then the main kayak box inside that. In terms of specs, this is a $699 kayak, so it's entry level, so pretty affordable, and it's of course an inflatable design, so very portable and lightweight. It's designed for flat water, bays, and inlets, so calmer water, so more recreational, and it has a drop stitch floor, so it provides a lot of rigidity as well as protection as you have 3 chambers. The kayak includes the Nano Barrel pump, as well as the XL Animus carrying bag, which is really easy to clean because it has a mesh construction, as well as a 4-piece Alpine Lake paddle. So you really have everything you need right out of the box. You can see it's very packaged really well, and the kayak itself is very small. It's really impressive given the fact that this is over 6 feet long. It folds up really nicely, and you can see here it's well packaged. You can easily put it back in the carrying bag and then take it to your destination. Putting it together is also very simple. You just have the seat, which is a little foam piece, the 4-piece paddle, which comes very small because it's such small items, the tail fin, and that puts the weight of this kayak overall at 26.7, and I believe that includes the tail fin, the seat, and of course the paddle. So pretty lightweight overall, especially compared to more common rigid style kayaks. You can see as far as what's included, get the kayak, the pump, and everything you need, including a repair kit. So now let's get to the fun part. The best thing about the Moki-Lite and any inflatable kayak is that they're very portable and lightweight. That means you don't need a large SUV or truck with a kayak rack. Instead, you can just throw it in your sports car or passenger seat and take it to the lake. So it's a great option if you're in an urban setting, apartment, and just don't have the space for a traditional kayak. So you can see here we just threw in our Trans Am passenger seat. We have our life jacket and water bottle and the pump as well. So great combined solution that's very portable. Big downside to any inflatable kayak is you have to inflate it before you actually get in the water, so you can't just jump in. Setup takes about 5 to 10 minutes for us using the hand pump, and you can see it's a multi-piece design. The pontoons are built into the kayak, and then the drop stitch floor is removable, and you want to just take it out to make it easier to pack as well as clean. They slide into corresponding slots inside the kayak. Now we found getting the alignment of this drop stitch floor is very difficult. It's either perfectly aligned and has a little kink in there, so it makes it kind of protrude vertically, or it ends up a little bit sideways. And that means everything's a little bit off center. It still rides well in the water, but looks a little bit off and kind of messes with the stability. The drop stitch floor goes up to 6 psi, and then the side pontoons are inflated to 1 psi. And the nice thing is, again, you have 3 different chambers, so if you did have a leak, you could still make it back. The pump is really easy to use. It's dual stage, and it's only 6 psi, so it doesn't take that long. And then the valves also feel really high quality with a little cover on them to protect them. The next thing you want to do is put the seat on there. It has a Velcro design, so it just kind of sits in place, and it has 2 metal hooks on each side. You just want to get the tension right so you're sitting nice and comfortably. You can adjust the seat position quite a bit too, so if you're taller, you can pull it back or move it forward. The last thing you want to do is the tracking fin, and that also has a little tab on there to lock it in place. It is a little bit difficult, especially once you start getting sand on the base, to really get it to slide in, so it takes quite a bit of force. And then after that, you're pretty much ready to jump in the water. The manual does warn that if you go into cold water, the inflation amount may change, so you may want to recheck the drop stitch floor and pontoons to make sure they're still at 6 and 1 psi. But that aside, it has a nice low profile design, so you can really just jump in the water right off the beach. Now let's get the Moki-Lite on the water. Overall, we were impressed with the performance of the kayak. Again, it's lightweight and nimble, and being an inflatable design, it's really portable, so it's great that you can just take this to your lake and then throw it in a closet when you're done with it. The downside of this inflatable design is that it's not nearly as high performance as a traditional kayak. You have the side pontoons, so you can see you're further away from the edges, and that means you have to hold the paddle a little bit higher. And you also have a flat hull instead of a nice sculpted design. And that means instead of slicing through the water, it's more like a raft and just sitting on the water. And that means the tracking isn't really as good as a traditional kayak. So you can see here, every time I paddle, the boat does a little bit of a left and right wiggle. Now, this is also due to the fact that I have the seat all the way back at 6'1". This is the more comfortable position for me, but it puts a lot of the weight further in the rear and makes the balance of the boat shifted. So that kind of accentuates this issue. Now, even being 6'1", the boat is quite comfortable, and the foam seat is also great even for longer sessions on the water. Even though it is simple foam, the ratchets work really well so you can get the position exactly where you want it, and then there's plenty of space inside the boat. You can also have the storage area on the front and rear, so you can attach the bag or other accessories like water bottles and whatever you need. There's also a little storage bin behind the seat, which we found really useful, especially for a phone or other smaller items. The kayak also has a 3-chamber design, so you feel a lot safer on the water. So if you were to actually puncture one of the sides, you still have 2 other chambers, so you can definitely make it back. It would take a pretty extreme accident to actually get deflated and have to swim home. So great balance again, and being an inflatable design, you can take a lot more advantage of this. The other downside to the inflatable design is tearing this apart and cleaning it up. So once you're done kayaking, you want to bring it back up, take off the tracking fin, deflate it, and you can't really get this to fit back into the bag. You have to get this clean anyway, so you don't want to get it in the bag and roll it up as it will get moldy. So instead of that, you want to just deflate it, get in as much into the bag as you can, take it home, clean it, and then once that's done, then try to get it folded properly. We found it to be quite difficult to get it to really fit in the bag. The design isn't a clamshell. Instead, you have that middle zipper with the Animus XL bag, which means it's very tedious and it only fits if you get it exactly right or apply a lot of force. So it's one of the big downsides of this. It's also very awkward to carry. So if you're doing a longer walk to the water, we definitely recommend having a friend help you carry it there, or use a dolly like we ended up doing for further distances. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Moki-Lite. What we like about it is that it's a lightweight construction, pretty impressive with everything included. It's under 30 pounds. You also have a durable 3-chamber design, and it's quite nimble on the water, so it has nice handling, so you can get around obstacles very easily. It also has a comfortable seat with built-in storage, so if you want to take some snacks or any other gear, there's plenty of space to do that with. The cons for the kayak is that it does lack a footrest, something that was included previously, but appears to have been removed. It's also very difficult to carry and pack into the bag. The bag itself is really disappointing because it has a center zipper. It's nearly impossible to get it to fold back in. It takes a lot of bit of effort and force just to jam it in there. And then if you want to carry longer distances, it's just really awkward to carry. You can use it as a backpack, but it doesn't have the padding on the strap, so at about 30 pounds, it kind of gets uncomfortable. It would have been great if they included a different bag, maybe with roller wheels on there built in, and that would make it a lot easier to use and actually travel with. And finally, it has a flat bottom design which really limits the performance, so unlike traditional kayak, which is smooth and fast, this one's definitely more recreational. We don't recommend it for longer distances, and it doesn't track that well, so it'll kind of bounce left and right, especially if you move the seat all the way back. Taking everything into account, we get the Moki-Lite an 8.2 out of 10. It's a nice lightweight kayak that can use a couple usability improvements. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.